Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
Yeah, hi. My name is Mike Miller. I live in San Antonio, Texas. I'm the co-founder of a gut health company called Madge Food Company, where we specialize in the manufacturing of gut healthy food and beverage products.
Awesome. So what gave you the idea to start this company?
Gave me the idea is at the time I had my midlife crisis of working in the oil field and all over Texas and Louisiana. And I was always fascinated by my grandma's recipes and missing this thing called tomato jam. You got to draw the conclusions here. But so being around the oil field, going to all these little country stores and little places all over the two states, I was always curious for it. And one time I found one and I tasted it. I was so excited, and it was horrible. I mean, I literally spit it out. It was not grandma's. So the wife said, look, I'm tired of you talking about this for 20 plus years. Let's just make it. So we got a hold of the family recipe, kind of deciphered it. We've modernized it, trying to reduce the sugar and trying to make it a little healthier that we could. And realized, hey, people liked it. We got good feedback. We said, why don't we do this part-time? I was intended to start it for my wife to do it. So she was kind of raising the kids at home. She's a teacher, but she was taking time off to kind of raise the children. So she was looking for a little extra spending cash. So we said, hey, well, let's do this. And next thing you know, here we are. Now we're making kimchi and everything else, and don't even make the original recipes that we started with.
Awesome. So in what year did you guys officially start the business?
So we recognize our official start year, 2015.
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome. So I guess I'm curious, right? Obviously started in 2015, survived COVID, right? So what does your business look like today? Is it mostly in retail, direct to consumer, Amazon? What does that look like?
Yeah. So I would say a bulk of our business is, retail. It's not as far as us, but our wholesale partners. So we've got a distributor that distributes to 15 cities and DC. Or 15 states and Washington, D.C. Amazon's a curious little bugger. We used to do a lot of business on Amazon. We were actually one of the top selling kimchis on Amazon for about 4 or 5 years. But recently there's been a lot of challenges on Amazon. And so I think we're kind of zigging right now, trying to adapt to some changing markets on Amazon. And then we do a little direct to consumer through our own website. Yeah, definitely keeping up with our distributors is keeping us really busy.
For sure. So when it comes to wholesale and distribution, what is your vision for the business? Are you looking to get into more states or just grow more within the states that you're currently in?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's both. So, our mission is to change the world 1 billion microbes at a time. And so, I always tell people we're not a kimchi company. We're not a sauerkraut company. We're a gut health company that makes fermented foods, because we're all about the gut health. So since that's our mission to change the world, we're trying to be a product that is accessible. We're not trying to be bougie and priced out of the market, yet I am never one to be the low price. I'm not trying to be a commodity either, because we tend to go always more premium. So we have premium recipes. We tend to use organic products or produce when we can. So, but we do try to make it accessible. So we want somebody to go up and say, hey, for maybe $1 or $2 a jar more, I can get a better product. So it is our vision to be a national brand. Yeah.
So I guess when you're in grocery, it can be challenging sometimes because just getting trial. So do you guys do lots of in-store sampling and tasting, or how do you really explain this story to people who are in the grocery store?
I'm probably the guy that is going to write the book, The Way Not to Do Things, because I think I've done everything. One of my mottos is when everybody zigs, I zag.
Okay.
And so I tend to go the opposite way. I don't know if it's just because I'm stubborn, and that's my personality. And maybe that's why I love our kimchi, because I'll be honest, I think I used to demo our kimchi when we got into a grocer in Texas called Central Market.
Yeah.
And I always felt it was just a waste of time. I mean, really, our products sell once somebody gets a hold of it, they tend to come back. We've never had a problem at moving off the shelf. So I since then, yeah, I've been pretty bad about it. Where we haven't demoed in, yeah, I mean, pre-COVID.
Wow.
Is the last time we've done a demo. Luckily, as far as our brand, we've had some online traction as far as 2023 Food and Wine voted us the best online vegan kimchi. We've had several of these health sites that have touted us as one of the top. So it's given us a lot of, at least on the online, community. It's our name is up there, and it's always kind of blown me away that this little family-run company in San Antonio has made such a highly rated kimchi. I also think that's Amazon. That was always kind of my long game with Amazon, right? So
would you say is, I mean, obviously you guys have a great product, but it's like, and that's important. Or would you say also it's like, working with the store so you get good shelf space and packaging, like with your products, like making it stand out? Like, I'm sure that you've done something to really kind of draw attention to it.
Yeah, we need to. I mean, that's probably one of the areas I think we're leaving a lot on the table. I think right now we're just focused so hard on trying to scale production. Another thing that we made the decision of is, I've got a lot of friends that are in this, food CPG space. And there comes a point in a lot of the businesses where we start to grow and scale, and you kind of make this decision. Okay, well, I'm either going to continue to self-manufacture or I'm going to co-pack. And sadly, I mean, most people go co-packing because it's a very, very difficult road to self-manufacture. Well, we decided, just because of some of our uniqueness and my stubbornness of not willing to settle on some things, and the fact there's not a lot of co-packers doing fermented products, we decided to self-manufacture. So some of that is, I'm so focused just on scaling our production capacity to keep up with demand that, yeah, we're not really doing a lot of merchandising that we should be. Like I said, luckily we kind of get this really small, loyal fan base that really helps. But I do know that's something that we want to address here in the upcoming year in 2025, is really start having a better ground game. Because I know that, yeah, we just, honestly, I am not a marketing person. And so, my focus is just, make the stuff as fast as we can.
Makes sense. So in terms of like, so obviously that you're based here in Texas. So what stores can people typically find your product in across Texas?
In Texas, at Whole Foods. So Whole Foods is probably our biggest account. Beyond that, the one thing about Texas, there's not a lot of especially San Antonio, Austin area, there's not a lot of competition when it comes to the grocery store. So it's mainly Whole Foods, but we have also several smaller retails. In fact, if you go to our website at madgesfood.com, there's a store locator there that will, to our best of our knowledge, will give you the location of every store in the 16 states that we're in. So we're definitely big in the Northeast too, New York. We have a new distributor in New York City. So we'll start to, over the next couple months, we'll start seeing even more stores in the metro area. And then also we just recently launched with our distributor in the Midwest. So we're in, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Indiana, Chicago now. So yeah, it's best to go to a store locator, enter your zip code, and you can see what where our stores are located, or reach out to our website. You can buy direct from us. So
awesome. So, is your vision, like you mentioned, obviously you're scaling up production, but does that include also coming out with new SKUs and new products in the next year or two?
Yeah, I got carried away. I think right now we have probably like 15 active SKUs. Now we don't wholesale a lot of those, right? A lot of those are more for, we still stay involved in our local community. So we're still doing, I think we've only cut it down like one farmer's market now. That's just kind of us keeping connected to our local community. My co-founder finds it very fun still to kind of be in that market. So I let her run that. So it's good to kind of come out with some uniqueness, but it's also our test bed, right? We like to test it out at the farmer's market and test our new products. So that's kind of my creative outlet. And then also our direct to consumer, as far as our website, we have more products. As far as the wholesale, yeah, I would like to come out. It's been a couple of years since we've come out with a really new product. I'm typically kind of a crazy I call myself the chief fermentation officer. I'm kind of the crazy guy who likes to create all this crazy fermentation products. I mean, everything we've done has been unique. I don't like being a mimic. I like to come up with something new and innovative. So we're always kind of trying to push the bounds. And pre-COVID, I was playing hard, a lot of R&D development. So yeah, I've got a few things I would love to come up with again but I think, we're still just trying to keep up with the kimchi. And when I tell my production manager, hey, I'm thinking about doing some research on a new product, he just rolls his eyes at me and says, yeah, thanks for just piling more on me that I can't handle.
That's funny. Like when you're at the farmers market, you're even doing D2C, like have you noticed in terms of, maybe ideal customers or certain age groups or, types of people that may have surprised you or like, who actually like resonates more with your products?
Oh yeah, I always laugh at this one. This is a great question because usually, they always say when building your brand, who's the customer base that you're going to speak to, right? And give us a visual picture of what that. So I went through that whole exercise, and I'm part of a group of people that are doing this similar. And it's funny if you look at all of our stories, it's stereotypical. It's this woman that wears Lululemon, yoga pants, that has a lot of spare income, that has kids, but is very busy in life, and I just kind of laugh and I go, that's what we all like think is our real market. But when you start to look who actually is, it's not always that Lululemon wearing, mother. I think it was very curious for us in like New York that we were predominantly male, and I'm finding like, especially our direct to consumer market on the website, we have a pretty even split females male. And so, and even that, it's an older generation than I think we were thinking, right? So that mid 30s, we're really seeing that, probably mid 40s to 60s is being our biggest bell curve. I think it is because we are focused on gut health. That's what people are looking for. And then also the low sodium. We try to keep our sodium. It's hard, but we try to keep our sodium in respect, constrained. And so we get a lot of people that are, sodium restricted, and that typically is, kind of that 40 plus demographic. So yeah, I don't no longer believe in the Lululemon as our main market now. I really see it as kind of those that are focused on gut health, which typically are kind of that 45 to 50 plus category.
Hey y'all, it's Dan Melnick, the CEO of Zing, and I wanted to share a special offer for all of our listeners. Right now, if you need software development services, we'll give you 2 weeks of a free trial. Do you need to update your website? Do you want to build a mobile app? Do you want to update something that you've been working on for a long time? We've worked in a high-level technologies like AI, machine learning, blockchain. So shoot me a text, 817-874-2208. Thank you.
For sure. So obviously nowadays, many companies use AI. So do you guys currently use AI? And if not, where do you think they could come in and add value for your business?
So I've dabbled with AI. I'm because I'm busy, I'm horrible about copy. And I think AI has helped me when it comes to copy, coming up with little phrases or, hey, I want to write a sales letter. I don't like that. Rewrite it. I've been able to come up with some basic kind of AI has been a help when it comes to the copy, and then maybe write some basic, I don't want to say legal contracts, but maybe it helped me at least get a start on like a reseller's agreement. And so then I can go through and refine it, or just keep working with AI to kind of keep drilling down until it's close enough where I can go in and then edit it. So I'm becoming a big believer in AI. I think we have just begun to use, I would love to, as far as visual AI, I'd love to see more of that. Since I'm so busy, I really need more content, and I would love to see AI help us develop more content.
Right.
Because I just think sometimes people with video camera, for small businesses, it just gets really expensive. And I'm like, look, I'm either going to buy raw materials or have you come take photographs. I'm going to pick raw materials every day.
Right. Have you thought about AI for like customer service to talk with your customers on your website, things like that?
No, maybe that's kind of maybe, my Gen X and me. I like the human touch still. Right. I still get involved with customer service all the time. I love hopping on, and because it also fills me up.
Right.
When I get complaints, we take care of it, but I also love when we get those calls and it's somebody saying, hey, this is the best thing ever. Thank you so much. And usually it always hits me when I've had a really tough day and I get those calls and I'm just like refilled up all again. Right. So I don't know if I'd ever use AI for that, just because I can't stand like when I have to call Amazon and you create those friction point on customers, I think it just really starts to wear on them. So that's probably one area that would be the last area I would look at AI would be that, and I'd have to definitely see a huge improvement in it. But I've run in my personal life, I've run into some instances where I can see it getting better. So
For sure.
it's not out of the question, but that's probably one area I will hold out until I have to, because I just love that personal interaction with the customers.
Makes sense. So what would you say is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you started this business?
Great question. That changes. And I think where I'm at right now, the question that I really would have addressed or liked to know ahead of time was go big fast. I mean, we kind of dragged this on for probably 5 years, just like a little side business. And then things just took off, but now it's making it really hard to scale, where I think if you can hit it hard and fast, you have momentum and you can build that momentum. And when the momentum's going, it's easier to get more. Otherwise, I think, had we pushed hard before COVID, I think we would have been a lot further along. I think we're finally getting caught up where we could have been.
Right.
But the whole COVID kind of thing put us back. And so it's not like it's year one again, but it's definitely a rebuilding year, but we're going to be rebuilt to new numbers we've never hit. So I think probably would have taken a little more serious and been a little more aggressive. And if you're going to manufacture, it takes a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a very capital intensive business.
Yeah. And we bootstrapped this, I could write the book of how not to start a business. This was bootstrapped with my 401k from the oil field company. So you're limited to what you can do, but
For
I'm
sure.
having a blast.
That's awesome.
It's probably the best business I've ever done.
Yeah, it's amazing. And plus, like, as you said, right? Like, it's one thing to have a business, but it's a different thing when you're like getting these phone calls and people saying, wow, look, you changed my life with your product. And that's amazing. So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your business?
Well, I think we're definitely gonna be continuing to grow. I see us being in more regions with Whole Foods, continuing to build deeper. I don't know if I want to open up any more districts right now, or DCs for our distributors. I think we've kind of got the markets we need to really start drilling down and making sure we're keeping our velocity and increasing our velocity, and just, stronger marketing plans that, it's like, now that we're on the shelf, now we need to really start driving and building that brand awareness back on social media or wherever. So
Awesome. So if somebody watching this podcast wanted to reach out to you, do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
yeah, absolutely. So our website is madgesfood.com. That's MADGES food.com. I'm also on Facebook is usually where I hang out more, on Twitter, and also Instagram, all under @MadgesFood. But reach out to us and love to talk or help any way I can.
Sounds great. Well, Mike, thanks so much for your time today.
No, hey, you too. I appreciate the time.
Awesome. Thanks. All right. Bye.
Thank you.